Oh, happy Monday morning. I am so excited about today's session. This is one of my good buddies. I used to work with Brad,
Hi, everybody.
Cincinnati Sports Club personal trainer, and we are here today to give a different reputation to trainers because this
Hopefully.
man is a
Hopefully.
professional of all professionals. And if we can't convince you today, then we quit.
Then you just find another trainer.
Right.
It's okay. It's okay.
Will you fill us in? How long have you been doing this? Give us your whole background.
Yeah. So I've been working here at the sports club for 25 years. My degree is sports management. Yeah, exactly. 25 years. I said that. That's true.
Yeah, you shouldn't skim over that part. 25. This is your career.
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly. You got it. I actually started here in management, and that worked out perfectly because I got to know a lot of people ahead of time before I started into personal training. And I built up personal relationships. And boy, didn't that word just come out twice right there? Huh? It's personal.
Right.
And that's what I found really quickly was that I wasn't supposed to be managing people. I was supposed to be helping people.
Oh, I like that.
And if you help other people through personal training, you're in great shape. And that's really what I discovered was that I really wanted to be in the front line of helping other people with their lives. And that's awesome. A big piece of what we're trying to do with training, obviously.
Yes, and you should feel that out of your personal trainer is that they care about you, right?
No question.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. The old line that you're gonna know to be true is you're a bartender, a hairstylist, your psychiatrist and your person. That's of course true. It's okay. You don't have to share all your deepest secrets with your trainer. Nobody would ever say that.
Right.
But you ought to have some level of trust. If you're going to trust them with your body and your health,
right,
you better trust that person. So no surprise that we end up also having some conversations about your life and
everything.
who you are.
Yes.
So those things do go hand in hand.
Right, which also brings up the conversation of you should like to be around your trainer. That should not be a dreaded thing going to your trainer.
Exactly.
I'm going to flip-flop where I was going to start with this because this was another question for you is I feel like people, okay, so let's say somebody doesn't like their trainer or not even dislike. I shouldn't say that. It's like the hairstylist thing that you're about to go. You should bond. You should like legit have something together. And if you don't, I've seen clients get stuck with somebody because they don't know how to kind of like fire them, if that's a good word.
It is. It's awkward. Let's not fool anybody. Of course, there's some challenge to that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean it can't be done.
So walk us through like what that conversation could look like.
So the first thing obviously comes before the client ever even has the conversation, which is the confidence to say, this is about me. This is my money and my health. And I'm not going to accept anything that's not working for me. If it's as bad as somebody who's genuinely, legitimately unethical,
right,
or just as simple as we just don't get along,
right,
the first step is to say, that's okay. Not everybody is everybody's best friend.
Right.
We don't maybe get along with each other, but I'm all right with that.
But preempting the strike is kind of a big thing. Like having that conversation first would make it a lot easier down the road.
It certainly
if and when that comes up.
That's a really good point. I hadn't even thought of that myself. Is to say going in. I hope this works out. I'm looking forward to it. If it doesn't, we'll be okay with that. We'll look for another avenue. Certainly, the goal would be to find a trainer so good that trainer would be okay. I certainly have watched other trainers in my club train former clients of mine, and I'm 100% okay with it because they're a better match.
Right.
That's okay.
Right.
They're doing well. They're getting the results they want, and it wasn't the right fit with me.
Right.
So no question that's okay. Now I've avoided the question till now, right? What I haven't really said is what does that conversation look like?
Right.
And that conversation looks best when it's honest and says, I think the world of you. I'm sure you're a good fit for some people. I don't think this is a good fit for me. I would hate to go forward with a relationship that isn't a good fit for either side.
Right.
So let's see what we can do about transitioning out of this relationship to one that does work for me.
Right.
It's just way better when that conversation is honest and mature and just taken care of that way.
Absolutely. Instead of just avoiding or never walking back through the club. So Brad and I used to work together. Yes. You were one of the first people that ever showed me the ropes, trained me. I got my personal training certificate. And then the cool thing that the Cincinnati Sports Club does is then we train under the trainers, the people who already know what they're doing and have their, and as we shifted, as I trained under each trainer, you see that each one of you you pull your own clientele. Brad very much has his own clientele, and a Deontay, like ex-quarterback of Cincinnati, has his own clientele, and a Claire has her own clientele. And so this makes that conversation easier too, is that you can even like point out how other trainers have their, and you can say, I think I might be a better fit. Or like when Brad goes on vacation, we used to flip flop clients all the time. And it's a good way to introduce even your own client to other trainers.
And it was always my fear that they would like you more than they would.
Stop. No, vice versa.
What am I going to do?
No.
Exactly.
That would have been, yes.
So no question, you got it, is that, again, what we're talking about are different scenarios. In this case, we're talking about a health club where you can look up and see 10 different trainers all working at one given moment.
Right.
Let's say you're at a private gym.
Yeah.
That there's no other trainer to transition to.
That's a good point.
The upside of that is just stop going.
Yes.
You don't have to walk back into that gym. If you were going to a private trainer studio and it's not working any longer,
right?
You say, this isn't working, I'm going to stop coming to your studio now. The downside is there's no one to transition to. You're back out looking again. You
are, and I also feel like if that studio happened to be like the convenience thing or the cost or whatever was holding you there, now you fired them and you're still walking back in the door going,
and
sorry.
That can be awkward. So again, you do have to sort of have an idea up front that you're going to handle this in a mature way.
Right.
And so
mature and be upfront. Period. And then it's okay.
That's a big part of it.
Yeah, we move on. And if we don't, so trainer horror stories. I actually have something I want to read you just to see your face.
Do it. This will be fun.
But I can't tell if we should start with it or end with it.
Always start with it.
Okay. I love. I mean, you're like, we're gonna have to like pull your jaw up off the floor.
It's not about me, is it?
No. Okay. Yes. Anonymous.
Anonymous.
Yes.
Well, there's a trainer. We'll call him Brad.
Yes. And it's not about the sports club. I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. It's a different club trainer that none of us know. Okay. I have to preset this for you. So I have a good friend who already had good things going. She was in a weight loss program. Felt good about that, felt good about like not focusing on the scale, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so you already had good things going, but felt bored with her workouts. So I was like, you should really use your club, grab a trainer, and just ask them for a couple different workout ideas. Sounds simple, right?
Great tip.
Thanks.
Should be fail-safe.
Right?
How could this go wrong?
Right.
And yet,
and then, so she has one of those free sessions, which and she too, very careful about being like, I don't want any further training sessions.
Sure.
I just would like some tips, where you would be like, okay, it's a relationship building time.
This story couldn't possibly turn into,
where it's going. Oh my gosh. Wait till so she gets there and they do weigh, they do measure, and she's like, whatever, okay, you had to go through those check boxes. But he like hard pressure sells the whole time. Okay, so she's like already like, I don't, so uncomfortable. This is the email she receives from him.
Oh, nice.
Unfortunately, I cannot provide you exercise routines for free. Now, mind you, he offered a free session. When I said I would do that, I assumed that you would be on board for personal training because it's obvious to me that you need the guidance. If somebody told me it was obvious to me that I needed the guidance, I'd punch you. I would.
Well, now I know what not to say to you.
Right?
That's good news.
Is that awful? I think obvious. It keeps going. It's obvious to me that you need the guidance, especially since you're in a fragile rehabilitative state. She had a bad knee at the moment, but. And then I love you'll notice too, I love helping people, but as I am the most successful trainer in the department this year, I believe in the value and the service that I provide. I'm sorry.
Lindsay, since you're such a loser,
right.
I thought maybe you'd want to work with me because I'm amazing.
Because you're amazing, you're going to change my life.
You're going to be so impressed by me. I'm not sure I can help you because you're kind of pathetic.
Right.
That's wonderful. I mean,
But you've heard a bunch. I mean, that's not like I'm laughing, but that's not that uncommon.
Sadly, that's not terribly uncommon. So again, yet to all of you out there, one of the ups and downs, one of the pros and cons of our business is we are still a relatively unregulated business. Now, the upside means we come with less red tape of government oversight, and a lot less regulation, and a lot of the hang-ups and hassles that go with that.
Yes.
It removes barriers from people getting into the profession.
Right.
And it removes barriers from people hiring a trainer, which is great.
Right.
They don't have to go through a whole bunch of paperwork to do so.
Yeah.
The downside is people like that can be trainers. And so there is, again, we can't fool anybody. It's a little bit of a buyer beware industry.
Right.
You do have to do a little bit of research and be sure you're not getting that person as your trainer.
Right.
That's frustrating.
No, I love that talk, though. You're right. It really is about buyer beware. In the good way, like you can interview trainers before you start with them.
You may certainly do so. We don't just interview you, you interview us.
Right.
Absolutely. You can get recommendations from friends. It is a wonderful era, 21st century. We've got online reviews. We have Yelp and Yahoo and Google reviews. Use them. Use them. They're out there. It's okay. Absolutely. We can prevent some of these problems from happening down the road if we do a little research up front.
Right. So research. That's our next buzzword for the, yes. So you and I, when we used to train together, there was something that you used to tell your clients that I loved. This was like verbatim takeaway from you all these years later. I think you are. I do. I'll guide you on this and then I'll let you run with it. But my clientele was normally weight loss clients and just training in general. People want results, right? Like whether that's within physique or the weight loss or whatever. And I remember asking wise Brad here, I'm like, what? Like, how do you initiate this conversation that it's okay if, we can still be doing our job and fast results might not be happening? Like, what is that constant conversation with people to help them settle in this industry that, like, people want fast results, right? How do we help reshape their mentality? And you had the best answer.
What did I say?
It was about looking 2 years out. Does this sound familiar? You go with it if you want to talk. You say it.
I'm wondering if it's this one. If you said to yourself, if I lost 1 pound a week, so if weight loss were it, doesn't feel like much. But when we're taping this interview, it's March right now.
Right.
Okay? At Christmas, I would be 40 pounds lighter.
Right.
What a Christmas present to myself.
Right.
If I just stuck to my plan, that's a terrible, mean thing. If I just stick to my plan, actually, that's a lot of pressure. But what the plan I'm looking at,
kind of stuck to your plan.
Yeah, exactly. The plan I'm looking at doesn't sound like it's amazing. It sounds like it's 1 pound a week. But what a gift!
Right.
What a great thing to have done. Listen where my results get me.
Right.
I'd be 40 pounds lighter.
Right.
Wow. Could I imagine the holiday season 40 pounds lighter than I am today? That's what 1 pound a week is.
It is, and I feel like you even back that up to less. Like even if it was maintenance or a half a pound, and we're talking 2 years out, to tell yourself 10 years down the road, I'm so glad I took that 2 years to work on it because now I'm not still doing the same.
Exactly.
Beating down that same door 10 years later.
I also wondered if you were going to use the brushing your teeth one.
No, tell me this one. Now I have a new one.
Exactly. You brush your teeth every morning. Every night. Some people do it in the middle of the day, and they feel any better? Did it improve them? Did it change them? You do it because it's the right thing to do for your teeth. As a little kid, you were taught.
Right.
Go brush your teeth. It just became who you are.
Right.
It's just that regular thing you do. And you wake up one day and you're 80 and all your teeth are still in your head. You say, I'm glad I brushed my teeth. I'm glad I took care of them. It turns out it was useful.
Yes.
Working out may not feel like it changed everything for me today. But it was good for me. And I know in the long run I'm going to be happy I did it.
Right.
We want exercise to be like brushing your teeth. It's just part of your day.
Right.
Now, brushing your teeth is easier because it takes 2 minutes and you're done.
Yeah, true.
It doesn't take much effort.
But movement, not necessarily training, but movement can be the same way.
It can be. Exactly. Exactly right. So, like I said, it may not be a perfect analogy, but we want it to be as simple as I just want to build something into my life that just becomes a part of my day. Just part of my day.
Right.
And then I'm better off for it.
And I'm telling you, when you have a trainer like Brad or somebody who you can like, I remember you just hear Brad talking with his clients through sessions, and it can be politics, it can be whatever. But I'm telling you, I guarantee his clients are not going through their sessions going, what time, how many more minutes? Like, you like talk them through to the point where they come, they go, and then they look forward to a future conversation.
Hopefully so.
I know so. Like, I watched it. Yeah. I witnessed it.
But
it should feel like that.
As you mentioned, the next client may come along and say, I don't want to talk about politics. Why are you not pushing me harder? Why are we not doing more? There's a bonus interview. Claire,
now you have to come in.
You have to.
You're on video.
Get over here. No. You have to.
Oh.
Okay. Claire really has to go, but she wants to give hugs. So she's going to give Lindsay a mid-workout hug. Go. Okay. Give her a big hug. I'll stay here, entertain Lindsay off screen, getting big workout hug from a great friend and one of our trainers.
Bye. Yes, he's amazing as well.
We're back. She's wonderful too. It's your loss that you didn't get to meet Claire, because she's great too.
She is seriously, the staff here is amazing.
And thank you very much. And that goes right into what we were just saying is Claire may not talk politics with her clients.
Right.
That's okay. The next client is this, and maybe we're just saying the same things in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
The next client may say, look, I really need you to listen to me talk about this. Or the next client might say, I don't want to talk at all.
Right.
I hired you to push me.
Right.
I want to get more of a
workout.
Which
means the different. Yes. Yeah. True.
And that's okay. And then within that, don't think that the trainer has to be the same for everybody.
Mm-hmm. Right. Like if everybody loves Brad, it doesn't mean you have to love Brad.
Absolutely.
It can mean,
yep.
Yes.
And Brad doesn't have to be the same for everybody. I love analogies. If you have multiple kids, each kid isn't the same. You're still the same parent, but you have to parent that child a way that's appropriate for that child. If I have a client who doesn't want to talk about politics, it gets that client upset. I better not talk politics.
Right.
If the next client says, can you believe what happened in the news today? Let's talk all about it. I better talk about it. I better be listening to my client. So back into,
their
again,
needs. Yes.
Back into, if your trainer is not listening to what you want, is not thinking about the things you like, is not paying attention to what you're interested in,
yes,
what matters to you, that's not your trainer anymore.
Right. So. If they're paying more attention to everybody else around the gym than you, maybe find a new person.
Exactly.
What's your what's your passion? Something that you want to shout out to the whole world? Do you have like a couple things? If you had hashtags, what would be some Brad like?
So it's embarrassing that it's just the thought I have on that, I like helping people.
Yeah, that's not that's it.
It's not really a passion. It wouldn't be fair. Not everybody gets to find a passion in life. I'm really, really lucky that I like helping people. So in terms of this context, this conversation, I like coming to work and making people feel better today. Yeah. That works well for me.
Yeah.
I want to do some outside passions. I love travel. I absolutely adore my wife. I have an amazing family. I mean, those are some things that I'm lucky to have too.
You're
in this context, I hope so. In this context, like I said, what I would say is that I love just helping people feel better today. And again, I hope that for all the different styles of trainers you might find, somebody just flat out wants to help you be better.
Right. So. Yeah, I love that. No, it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be anything more than that. Like you say that as it's like, it is what it is.
It is.
That's huge.
I'm that lucky that I found something, and I didn't have a huge career plan where I laid it all out and solved it all.
Sure.
I got lucky. I came here, like I said, I was in management, and I discovered I really like helping other people. And darn if there wasn't a way to help other people. When I get to personal train, I get to walk in the door and help people feel better today. That's job satisfaction for me. My paycheck is my compensation. My job satisfaction, that's from helping other people.
And you're helping me today greatly. I mean it. And you're helping anyone who listened today, because I just feel like if we can get anyone to walk through a door who has been sent out with an email like that, or something that has ever made you go, I will never do that again.
Exactly.
Give it one more try, because I'm a trainer, Brad's a trainer. Like there are good trainers out there.
There are some wonderful ones out there. Exactly.
So don't let one bad apple ruin the bushel.
No, exactly.
Thank you.
Of course. You want to give me a hug?
I do want to give you a hug. I'll take an excuse.
You're the best.
All right, you too. Thank you all. We'll see you next Monday.
Bye-bye. Bye.